Hi guys. Tell me about a time you made a mistake or a failure. This is a very common interview question, and the content is really good out there on Google. Two items that I want you to focus on are taking full responsibility and being grateful. What do I mean? Hang in there with me and I'll describe in this video. If you like my content, please like. If you have any comments, please comment below. And if you like my overall content, please subscribe. So item one, let's dive right in. Prepare and practice. These two steps are going to be consistent throughout all my coaching. And all I can tell you is there's about 20 to 25 commonly asked questions in interviews. This is one of them. So prepare and practice and you'll do great. Secondly, admit that you've made a mistake. This is critical. Don't go into an interview and say, I've never made a mistake. We've all made plenty of them. So be preparing that great example and you'll do great. Third, so I mentioned this in the intro, take full responsibility. A lot of the examples that I saw on Google actually tried to wiggle out of full responsibility. I was very busy. I didn't know the process. There was a challenge with the system. There was a challenge with the technology. Remove all of that. Make sure in your prepared answer you are only talking about the area where you needed to improve on and where you made a mistake. Take full responsibility. It's so critical, and I can tell you if I was a hiring manager and you tried to wiggle out of that question at all, it would be a huge deterrent in me wanting to hire you. So really be thoughtful in your answer. Be specific too. Don't provide a generalized answer. Be specific and then make sure it's short and concise. You don't want to provide every detail, but you want to be specific enough that your interviewer really gets it and has a good idea of what you're talking about. You can try the PAR method, and I'll put that in the description below, which is problem, action, result. Sometimes this can be a really good way to frame items for you. Item 5, this is probably one of the most important as well. Lessons learned. This is so great because you talk about what you learned from the mistake and then how you applied that and how you have been applying that in the future. And that's awesome because it means that you learned something from this mistake and you've moved on, and it's actually been something that's been positive because it's an application of something that you could improve upon. Item 6, and again, this was another item that I mentioned in the beginning. Be grateful. Mistakes, we all make them, but if you take it from a place of gratefulness and you understand that that mistake will lead to you getting better, that's awesome. I know personally I've made hundreds of mistakes on the job, and every time I learned from it and I was grateful for it, it just was such an uptick in my success. So be grateful, and it's just a good overall lesson in life. Be grateful. Lastly, and this is a very important one, expect follow-up questions. So getting ahead of it and talking about what you learned, that's a very common follow-up question. Talking about strategies you've implemented, again, that could be something that you cover on the front end and you don't get that follow-up question, but expect them because this is an important one and the company's really going to be trying to assess who you are and if you're a good candidate. Lastly, make sure that the example is a mistake, but it's not, again, too fluffy where you were taking on too much work, or it's too big where you burn down the building of your corporate office. Find that nice middle ground, prepare and practice it, and talk about all those items that we talked about. It will be a huge success for you if you can talk about this specific question in a really positive manner. If you like my content, please like. If you have any comments, please comment below. And if you like my overall content, please subscribe. Thanks so much.